Welcome back, everybody. Got a good one for you today, and I'm glad you dropped by. Today's theme will be quirky. We're going to look at some oddball cars. We're going to look at some things that never got made, but I think should have been made. And I want to just introduce you to some interesting cars. First, I'd like to give a shout out to a channel that I've enjoyed getting to know, the Quirky Garage. This is his channel, the Quirky Garage 1999. He does very informative videos, and he tends to gravitate toward some of the vehicles or types of vehicles we'll see here today. Concept cars, just lesser known vehicles. Really interesting stuff, and I've enjoyed watching his videos and getting to know him through some comments. So check his channel out. Again, the Quirky Garage 1999. I think you'll find it interesting, and he helped me make this video today. So let's look at some cars. Excuse me. Let's look at first a offering by Racing Champions. This is a 1977 AMC Pacer. This was from the Racing Champions Release 2 in 2018. This vehicle is from 1977, and these were made from 75 to 80. This vehicle was so nice when it came out that they upgraded you from your AM radio to an AM FM radio. It's also the first year it had factory installed air conditioning. The 1976 version of the Pacer was the one that you guys remember from Wayne's World. I'm not going to open this one today. This one's going to a good friend of mine in Belgium. And from time to time I pick up things that are not as easy to find in other folks' countries in Europe and what have you. So I'll save that one for today, but we'll look at the rest of them. We'll get the rest of them open. Oh, excuse me. Ford jumped the line there. Let's look at next an offering from Norev. This is a Peugeot. It's a Gran Turismo. Vision Gran Turismo, excuse me. And I didn't really understand what I read on Wikipedia when I was researching this. Apparently, almost every automaker puts out vehicles to be used in the Gran Turismo video games. I didn't understand that. I didn't know if that meant these were never going to be made and literally just made to be used in the video game. Check out the Peugeot badge there. Got just a little bit of plastic hanging. Either way, it's a super cool car. Like I said, there's not a lot on this car. I don't know if this has ever been on a road. I know it's been in a auto show, so apparently they made at least one prototype. It says that it came with a 3.2 liter V6. This Norev model is a plastic base. You can see right there the little bit of information they give you. It is a metal body. If you look at it, it's really cool. It's got a see-through interior. It's got two seats. It's a left-hand drive. I don't know if you can see that. And a see-through roof. It's got a Peugeot badge on the rear. You can see a little bit of red for the tail lamp. Looks like a smoked lens cover for that. Really small cat-like eye headlamps. Front badge, air splitter on the ground. It's a super cool car, and just as a diecast car, it rolls really well. So, neat car from Norev, the Gran Turismo. Up next, we'll look at a Citroen E. This loose one that I got off of eBay is the E version of the Mahari. I don't know what Mahari stands for, but I'm going to rely on some information given to me by the Quirky Garage. This was sold from 2016 to 2019, based on a car called the Bellore Blue Summer. I don't know what that means, and you guys can let me know in the comments. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong, but it is a cool car. This was used a lot by the ride-sharing companies in Paris, apparently. That's what Quirky Garage told me. And it's just a neat little car. I believe it's electric. That's what the E stands for. In it, you get a pretty detailed interior, white seats, black instrument panel, black steering wheel. It's really cool. It can hold 4 people, maybe. Probably not 4 Americans. We tend to be heavier than most. Plastic base on a metal car. Yeah, I like it. Citroen E Mahari. I'm all about looking for some really neat, unusual cars. In that line, we'll go next to another Citroen. This is also a Mahari. And apparently this is what they look like originally. So, per Quirky, this one is made of, or partially made of plastic, ABS plastic. I don't know what that is. Came with a 2-cylinder engine. Made its debut in 1968. You get a little bit of red paint on the tail lamps there. It debuted during all the strikes and riots in France in 1968. Referred to as Mai 68, M-A-I. I don't know what that means. It came from the factory with no roof. They were used by the French Army. They stopped making them in 1987, and 214 of them made their way to the United States. Now this is cool that you do get lensed headlamps on this. See the Citroen badge there. Looks a lot like a Jeep or a VW thing, kind of that model, that feel. Multicolored interior. You get a black steering wheel. Plastic base, of course. Really cool car. I like that. Alright, next up, Hot Wheels joins the lineup today with the Ford Anglia. I don't know if that's pronounced right either. And this is basically an Anglia or Angela. I don't know. Saul, Mick, you guys can correct me. 105E. These were made from 1959 to 1967. This particular version came out in a set that Hot Wheels put together for Harry Potter. You'll remember this car is the one that crashed into the tree at Hogwarts and was the Weasleys. So it's obviously a right-hand drive. I got this fully intending on stripping it down, repainting it, giving it some better wheels, and making it a custom. So you'll see that one again. Next up, pretty excited about this. You get a bonus today. Not only are we going to look at neat cars, but we're also going to look at a brand that I thought I had never heard of. Kid Connection. I did a little bit of research. As soon as I got this in the mail, I recognized the wheels, the look of the cars, and you probably are all screaming right now. They look like Maisto. So I do a little research. Sure enough, somewhere on there, yep, Maisto International. So we don't have a new brand, but we do have a lot of cool cars. We'll look at them. I'm going to open this up. No sense in keeping it. This is a GM Concept pack. That's what it says on the blister, GM Concept. It is packaged well so that they can stay in good shape. And this actually is probably 20 years old, so they're really crammed in there. First up, we won't take too long. Buick Bengal. This was a 2001 concept car. Came with a 250 horsepower V6. Interestingly enough, when they made this, they made it with no instruments. No gauges on the instrument panel. All of your information came via a heads-up display. Remember, this is 2001, so that was pretty radical at the time. It had voice-activated controls too, like your wipers, cruise control. I don't know what else. Maybe, I'm sure door locks were voice-activated. So it's pretty neat. They scuppered this in 2004. and went with a different direction. I don't know what vehicle replaced it, but you can see the two lines for the headlamps. It is a metal body. Of course, it's going to be a plastic base and classic Maestro tires, which we all love. Not much more I can say about this. It is a pretty sharp car, metal body, rears, a little bit of detail. All right, so we'll look at these GM concept cars and then we'll wrap it up here. Next up, one that actually did get made, Chevy SSR. This is a pretty mean pickup truck. So the deal on this one was the roof retracted. So you basically had a production made convertible pickup truck. Not too many out there. The hardtop rolled back. You could get up to 400 horsepower. There was an LS2 model that they made of the last year, 2006. These were made from 03 to 06, and it came with the same engine as the current C6 Corvette. So 400 horsepower in a pickup truck. That's pretty American. You can see the badge. Maybe. You'll have to trust me. That's what it says. Not a bad casting. It's good for Maestro quality. You see the bow tie badge right there. Barely. Metal body, plastic base. Nothing unexpected from Maestro. Not a bad paint job, though, by them. Let's look at a Pontiac. So, this one, called a Pontiac Rev, R-E-V. It is 2001 was the year. It apparently, or allegedly, was rally inspired. It was called an athletic crossover, for what that's worth. Coolest feature about this car, the rear doors slid back. I don't know if you guys have a house and you have pocket doors that slide into the wall. That's what these rear doors did. There's no B-pillar between the front door and rear door. The rear door slides back so you can slide in there. Did come with a 245 horsepower V6. It was going to be a little bit more muscle than the Pontiac Sunfire that was out there. Well, you get a metal body, plastic base, same thing as before, garbage wheels. Probably not even an interior in any of these that are not convertible. Solid black windows. It's not bad. It's not terrible. It's a Maestro. It's a car you probably won't find any other castings of. Just put it that way. Up next, Cadillac Vision. Either way, it's V-I-Z-O-N. So I'm sure they pronounced it Vision. Supposedly a SUV. Looks like a predecessor to the Escalade. But I remember back then, these were all very geometric and sharp and angular. Had a huge V8 North Star engine. Wheels look a little bit more normal than usual for Maestro. I don't know if that's a Cadillac. I guess it's supposed to be the Cadillac logo. So nothing came up. There is not a whole lot of information on this. It's not the worst looking Cadillac. Probably their first entry into the true SUV market rather. Last one. Speaking of SUVs, here is a GMC Terracross. This was in 2001. Neat thing about this, see how the panels are divided? These three panels were glass and they slid backwards so that you could have a wide open, I don't think it went all the way down. You couldn't have a convertible, but you could have a huge sunroof. There's no B-pillar on this one. The funny thing, the front passenger seat can swivel around and you can face the rear passengers while you're driving down the road. Only the passenger seat, of course. There's also a middle, like a mid gate is what they called it, that you could raise to separate the passenger area and the cargo area. So you could block it off and make it a totally designated cargo. That's about it. There was ambient green lighting in the entire cabin, almost like an airplane. This is a GMC Terracross 2001. Hope you guys enjoyed these quirky vehicles. I hope you'll go check out the Quirky Garage, his channel, subscribe to it, and tell him how good a job he's doing. Yeah, so that was plenty for today. I've got more on the way. We'll look at some different brands, and we'll look at some recent hunting that I've done. Take care, you guys. I enjoy all of your comments. Hope you leave some for me and let me know what else you want to look at. Take care.